Are we live?
We are.
Hey guys, welcome to Strongman Sunday. Me and Auntie Liz are here, and we have Niko. I'm going to try and say your surname, Chaprales. I know you guys have been laughing at me, so
you absolutely butchered it.
Whoa,
That's awful.
sorry, Liz. I'm sure you got it absolutely perfect.
All right, Liz. Now it's your turn.
Hold on, I have a voice recording. it's Chaprales.
There you go.
Yeah,
Chaprales.
there we go.
There we go.
Niko Chaprales, also known as the Greek Goliath, also
Indeed.
known as Inez Carrasquillo and Evan Singleton's coach. So
Also
got big competition coming up. It's not next weekend, is it? The weekend after.
Weekend after, strongest man on earth. We're all going to be going out to Schmo this year. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Schmo. Well, welcome to Strongman Sunday. We Sundays are just a chilled evening to talk about strongman. We've started bringing on different guests. And I mean, for those that don't know, Niko is also a great strongman himself, an amazing deadlifter, competed for years now. He's still competing or just focusing on coaching more at the moment?
So I'm supposed to do the All-American Pro in 3 weeks. I'm recovering from rotator surgery. I'm 7 months post-op on rotator surgery, and I've made the decision for myself that I'm just going to kind of, when I feel like I'm ready to jump back into something, I'm not going to rush. Because a lot of people, including yourself, Laws, have always said to me, don't come back too soon. And I never listen because I mean, you know how it is. You have that burning desire to come back. And, but I want to make sure that I'm ready. So I'm 50-50 on whether or not I'm going to jump in 3 weeks. And if not, then I'll wait for, another Pro-Am early in 2026. So, but no, I'm definitely not done, but, I'm going to be 39 in 2 months, so getting a little long in the tooth to be banging it out with the young fellas today.
But at least you're 1 year away from being able to do the Masters, which suddenly becomes like, okay,
maybe I can do it again.
Yeah, making us, But I go through stages where I'm like, I want to compete again, and then I'm like, do I actually want to compete again? When you start training for it, because it's weird. Like, I'm training really hard right now. Obviously, I've got the arm wrestling, which is fine, but I train in the gym 5 times a week in terms of just normal gym training, and I'm feeling pretty good.
Right.
But the minute I start the strongman stuff, that's when my body says,
it all goes bad.
Yeah. So we'll see. I am contemplating competing again, but I've not set my sights on anything. I just had a conversation with Travis Ortmeyer at World's Strongest Man.
Right.
And he motivated me. I've got to be honest. I was like, he's like, I still feel like there's more to come. And I'm like, before talking to him, I was like, no, I'm old. I'm a has-been. But I've been holding my own in the gym against some younger guys, and I'm feeling like I'm, performing okay.
You're very easily swayed.
I am.
You're very impressionable.
But the nice thing is to not do it as a pro.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're a professional,
right,
you have no choice in what competitions you do. You'll be like, all right, that's the events. You've got to get on with it.
Right.
As like someone doing it for fun, I could be like, I like that competition and those events. I might do that. I don't like that competition with those events. I'm not going to do that. So that's the kind of nicer position to be in when you're not trying to do it as a professional. But
yeah, there's a lot less pressure. And
I look at some comps. I'm
like,
that event looks fun. That event looks fun. And then I'm like, that event looks shit. And that event looks really
cool. Yeah. I mean, I've just to myself, I look at upcoming shows and anything with a circus dumbbell, I'm like, probably not for me. Probably my least favorite event, but
Right. What have we got in the
question?
Who's about?
Everyone's about. All of the regular faces. Hello, everyone. Cousin Fred gifting memberships. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cousin Fred.
Snipe Score here asking who is Trey Mitchell's coach. He's such a monster. No real skill. He can be very scary. Trey has skills, to be fair to Trey. Yes, Chad Coy is his coach. Chad also kind of in the same boat as you and Niko, really, isn't he?
Chad was a great strongman back in his day. He still competes in Masters shows.
So older man, what are you, 39, Niko?
Yeah, I'm still 38 right now. So
oh God, you're the same age as me.
It's a few years.
I get a little gray in the beard, but yeah, I just look old. So
that's fine.
Still in my 30s. So
that's strongman though, to be fair.
God,
aging.
That's strongman, and also being a commercial fisherman by trade, being out in the sun all day and long hours, and a lot lot of high stress situations. So
you're a little bit of a celebrity in the world of fish, are you not, Nico? You're on a TV show.
I don't think I've ever heard it put that way, Liz. A celebrity in the world of fish. Yeah. So
you have such a way with words.
Thank you.
you've such a way with words. Yeah, I recently did a miniseries for Discovery Channel called Harpoon Hunters that aired January through March. It's available on Discovery Plus and HBO Max, and it was a 9-part miniseries just about harpooning bluefin tuna and the whole history of the industry. And it was quite fun. I was nervous at first. I mean, I've never been shy in front of a camera. Everybody knows that, but just really opening up my personal life and having cameras around me 24/7 was definitely a different experience. But it was fun. After a couple of weeks, you kind of forgot the cameras were there and you were able to act more natural. And it was a great experience. So in the world of fish, yes, I'll say a famous with a lowercase f.
Well, you're getting kind of big in the world of strongman as a coach these days, because you have 2 incredible athletes on your roster. One obviously Evan Singleton, and on the women's side of things, Inez Carrasquillo, who is arguably she is the best in the world right now. Firstly, how is it coaching those 2? But also, cousin Fred asks, Nico, is Evan ready for Schmo? I'm picking him for podium.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough having such a quick turnaround from the Strongman Open going into Smo, which obviously Evan did tremendously well there. We had a slight hiccup with the stones, but he was still able to hold on to his first place position and win the show.
You were talking about when he headbutted the platform.
We're working on him controlling his emotions. But Evan, I don't think it's no secret to anybody that Evan has all the tools. He's an incredibly gifted strongman, and I think that winning that giant show did worlds for his confidence. And when Evan is confident, Evan is dangerous. And I think that just the way that we've been able to, it was a relatively quick peak, but he was already in pretty good condition, and he's looking really good, especially in the events that he typically excels at. He's had a tremendous prep in the trap bar deadlift and in the yoke, and we're really trying to work on some of his weaknesses. He's obviously slightly outgunned in the log with guys like Lucas and Trey, and his stones are going to be kind of a damage control event. But when you talk about damage control events and you still plan to have him in the top 6 or 7, it's a great thing. I plan on him being very consistent throughout all the events, and as you know, consistency is what wins titles.
Yeah, and I think with this being like an 8-event competition, that consistency becomes even more important.
Right.
16 athletes as well.
Yeah.
So there's lots of points up for grabs, and as long as you're not dropping a lot of points on each event. And I know I noticed he was talking about this the other day, because the sport has evolved. I don't know whether you kind of notice it. I mean, most of us do. When I was competing, when I first got into strongman, there was none of this world record kind of focus.
Right.
It was about winning competitions.
Right.
And if you broke a record, great, but it wasn't the primary goal. Your goal was to win the competition. Now, there are athletes out there that have become very, very well known for being good at one event.
Right.
Whereas back then it was about being the best. And Evan is very much I want to win competitions guy, not necessarily I want to break, records all the time. And I think that ability to be good at the events that people don't like the, shield carry into the power stairs and, the loading events and stuff like that. Events that people don't class as fun to do. He's good at those type of things.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, Evan has said that there's only one record that he cares about, and that is the record of winning the most giant shows out of anyone. Yeah. So, and he's getting, if he wins the next one, he'll tie Thor for 8, and then the 9th would be the most of all time. So, so it's kind of, he wants to win overall shows, but he wants that record of winning the overall shows. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So it's great.
Yeah.
That's a cool record to have. Look, we've got Rauno in the chat complimenting you on your T-shirt, love.
Oh, I wonder why he likes this one. Yes, good to see you, buddy.
I was speaking to Rauno earlier.
Oh, good.
Yes. planning our trip to Estonia, our annual trip. What fun we have.
Yeah, always look forward to going to Estonia.
So lots of people in the chat saying they're really looking forward to Smo. Brian's doing a great job of promoting this competition.
Yeah.
Brian is working hard right now because he's promoting 2 major competitions.
I mean, has Brian ever done anything where he hasn't worked tremendously hard at when he sets his sights on something? It's pretty much consumed.
The 3 of us were saying just before we went live, weren't we, how much effort he puts into these shows, and with the arm wrestling being part of it as well this year, there's even more work for him to do. You got like all the athletes for the strongman, and he's kind of making that bigger and better than ever. Plus, he's got 10 super matches to focus on and working with a different promotion, trying to make sure everything is kind of on point. All the athletes to deal with, all the media to deal with, all the organization.
Quite the endeavor, you know. I mean, that's definitely.
I'm super excited because I have my 2 favorite sports happening in one event.
Place.
It's like I'm working as a commentator on the strongman, and I'm an athlete in the arm wrestling.
It's like Christmas.
I'm like I am super excited for it.
Matty saying that they think you could have done OSG Europe's Masters last night. Quite a turn up for the books, actually. Everyone's talking about the battle between Zadrunas and Mark
in the
Felix
50s
in the
plus.
50 plus.
Yes.
But I've forgotten his name now. Someone else won it.
Nice.
I remember some of the winners. I remember Donna Moore won the Open Women.
Yep.
That's great for Donna. Naomi Hadley won the Masters Women. And that's where my brain shut down. The Ukrainian guy won the Open Men.
She had Richard
Molnar. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to
say it. The only reason I know him is because last year in the OSG qualifier, I pulled a 903 axle deadlift, and he chipped me by half a kilo, and I was like, "Oh, you little."
Richard Molnar won the under 80s men. Harry Rogers won the under 90s men. You can see some of the names in there.
Yeah.
Philip, who was the world champion, Dan Benson in there. Men's 90, that is again. Men's 105 won by Matt McKeegan. He's been doing very well. Tom Owens in second. Masters 40s plus was won by Danis Repsis, who I believe trains with Zadrunas.
Oh, okay.
And Chris Windsor-Price, I want to point out, came third in that because I coach him. So I'm really proud of him because nobody knows who Chris is, to be fair. He won the British Masters last year, and he's gone on to come top 3 at Europe. So that is awesome. Richard Birchmore won the 50s plus, and everyone was talking about Mark Felix and Zadrunas.
Right.
Mark Felix was second, Zadrunas was in third. Zadrunas has been waiting to do this one, I think, to hit 50 and then compete in the over 50s. But yeah, Mark Felix. Actually, Richard and Mark were the same points, so Richard has won off last event rules. Men's Open. So how do you say his name? Ole.
It begins with a P. I don't know. You're the pronunciation guru, Lawrence. So you.
That's one we're gonna have to work on that one.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
But no matter what, he has earned himself an invitation to
another quality Ukrainian athlete. There's lots of them out there.
It was Roman Grekov from Ukraine who won the competition last year, and then he ended up in the World Tour final. So.
Yeah, let's very quickly go through the women's as well. Under 64 kilo women's won by Katie Connolly. Women's under 73, Laura Hollywood. Congratulations to those guys. Angelina Berver, she wins the under 82 kilos women's masters, was not won by Naomi Hadley. That's 3 times she's won that now. Well done, Naomi. And Donna Moore taking the win in the women's opens, which is, I mean, I want to first say well done to Donna, but I also want to point out how high the standard of Britain's Strongest Woman was the other week.
Yeah.
When you think, some of the names that were in there that just didn't even compete at Europe.
Britain's Strongest Woman is ridiculous. Like, it could be a World's Strongest Woman lineup.
Well, I'm sure Nico would be very happy to see like a Giants Live World's Strongest Woman contest.
That would be tremendous. I mean,
I think that has to be something that Giants Live try. Because obviously it's great that we've got Britain's Strongest Woman at Giants Live, but the World's Strongest Woman, where you bring in, the incredible, like Angelica, bring in Inez, bring in all these kind of incredible women that are around the world, as well as the top British athletes.
I would love to see a Strongest Woman on Earth as well. Hopefully someday.
That would be cool.
That would be really
for the women to, more or less for them to just have the big 2. and for the men to have the big four. I mean, I think it would be great if we worked in that direction with the sport where we catch the women's side up because, I mean, I don't think it's any secret that the last 5 years has really been, tremendous for the women in growing the sport and the opportunities that they've received, and I think that it really, for me, I think a huge kind of jumping off point was I was actually standing right next to you, Laws, when Andrea pulled that 800 Hummer tire deadlift at the Arnold the first year that they were, featured, on they were on that Rogue stage. And I mean, I'm sure you remember, but the crowd for the women was bigger than the crowd for the men. It was just everyone was going crazy, and Andrea pulled that, and it was like that was kind of the point for me where I really thought that this could be something that could be marketable and be just as big of a draw as the men. And since then, especially the Arnold, I mean, they've really done a great job at, bringing the women into the spotlight, and they compete in the same arena with the same events as the men. And it's just, it's great to see the sport going in that direction and growing the women's side of it.
What do you think needs to be done for the women's side to catch up with the men's?
Well, I mean, we could spend the next hour talking about that one, I mean, but it's really tough. I think the women are doing a great job at proving that they are a viable commodity now, because realistically, just like anything, at the end of the day, this is still a business and it's about selling tickets. And, for the way that I kind of look at it as, this year at the Arnold, I hate to say that the men's show, and this is partly your fault, Laws, it was becoming quite predictable. The last several podiums at the big shows were Hooper, Thor, Lucas. And then, you have Austin and Trey kind of in, battling out for, that potential third place spot. But the women's side of things, and believe me, I selfishly want it to be that way for the next 3 years with the women, with Inez winning everything. But I think the women's competition was just, it was far more exciting for me. And it was just the battles between, Nez and AJ and Rebecca and Olga was just, it was, they were going back and forth, and the placings were different on every event. And, everyone has their different strengths and weaknesses. And for me, it was a far more engaging spectacle. And I think that the crowd was there. The crowd was going crazy, especially during the jerk event, where it was just like to see these women, the way the sport is now, the women now, the open women are doing what the World's Strongest Man guys were doing in the early 90s for weights. And I think that's incredible. So as far as growing the women's side of the sport, I do think that it's going to take someone like Brian that's in the position to take a chance and, just put on a strongest woman on earth and build something from the ground and build it into a true spectacle. And, as you said, Giants also, that would be great for them to hold something like that. I personally, I miss the World's Strongest Nation event, because that was another great showcase of the women's talent, and to have the women and the men right next to each other. And, that show was fantastic. And, I'm sure that there's reasons unbeknownst to me as to why they chose not to bring it back this year. But I mean, what a great show that was,
Yeah, we loved watching that.
Yeah,
Have you ever done team shows yourself?
No, I haven't, because I'm not much of a team player. I really.
It's funny you say that. Like my background was like more rugby and team sports, and I ended up moving to an individual sport because of those reasons. I don't like relying on people, but I actually really enjoyed competing in team comps in strongman. I did a few of the world team champs with Terry Hollands, and we did a few like 4-man team competitions as well. And it is nice having that camaraderie. And I do think a team comp is something that we're almost missing in strongman, because every nation, rather than it being like, this is your favorite guy, you'll get behind your nation.
Right.
You can be patriotic. We can have the American team, British team, Canadian team, Lithuanian team, whoever, like every country can be represented. And there's so many ways to do it. You could just have 4 super heavyweights. You could have 2 men, 2 women. You could have different weight classes. There's lots of ways that we could make that happen. And I do think there's room for that type of competition going forward. Because sometimes if it's just comp after comp after comp of the same guys all the time, it gets a bit boring.
They can become a bit samey, can't
they?
Yeah.
So I think there's room for that, where maybe it is a mixed kind of competition where you do have men and women competing, and it is very much be patriotic, get behind your country, and you can change the teams each year, and it's something that's fun to represent your country in a different way, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that would be like a great opportunity.
Hey, Patty, how are you?
Sorry. Patty Haynes in the chat. He's flying off to Iceland very soon, isn't he? To
Patty
be Iceland's strongest man.
And Thor are going to be going head to head on the Husafell style.
If Paddy wins, does he become Iceland's strongest man? Does he get that title?
He gets to call himself Iceland's strongest man.
How cool would that be?
He gets to be the king of Iceland for
like the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Come back with some weird hat. Heidi, thank you for the super chat. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Colorado. I promise not to accidentally stalk you this time. Remember in Vegas,
we saw her everywhere.
Every corner we turned, Heidi was there.
We look forward to seeing you there, Heidi. Hope you're well.
Oh dear. Did you go to Vegas, Nico?
I have been to Vegas several times for competitions. I didn't go for the deadlift championships. I wanted to, but I don't know. I think me sitting there watching the World Deadlift Championships would be a little too much FOMO for me to be able to just sit there and do. So I sat that one out.
Have you ever been to a Giants live show, like in the UK or?
No, Birmingham will be my first Giants live show. So I'm very, very excited.
Oh, you're going to love it.
That's going to be an amazing show.
Yeah, that should be another show with really, really good events for Evan. So I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah. He sent me the events and I was just like, these are all your best events. So, we're gunning for number 8 for that show.
It's funny because
I'm glad to see more coming back, because that'll just make the show that much better,
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I looked at the events and said, oh, me and my prime, they were great events for me.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of similarities between Evan and myself when I was competing. Right. And I think that's why I upset him a lot of the time. Because I do criticize Evan sometimes, and it's not because I don't like him. I think he's an amazing athlete. Because
you want him to do.
But I see him make the same mistakes I made. Like, for instance, on his deadlift, he is extremely explosive and aggressive off the floor. Like, and I look back. You go look back at my videos. I was extremely aggressive off the floor, and sometimes that negates your ability to work your lockout because you just blast the weight up. And I've criticized some of his deadlifts when it's come to a different type of deadlift where you have to have that lockout strength and glute and hamstring power and maintain the hip position. And I was also extremely aggressive, used to beat myself with a stick.
Yeah.
Haven't headbutted the stone platform before, but, I see a younger version of me in him, but I also see the same mistakes that I made that he makes. And sometimes it's just about kind of controlling that aggression, and you have a guy that could win any competition on his day. And
and that's kind of the thing where when I agreed to coach Evan, we had a very long phone call. And, I think the reason that Evan decided to go with me is because he knows that, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not going to tell him he's awesome at everything, and we sat down and we went through, piece by piece. This is what you're not good at. This is what we need to do to work on that.
He needs someone that's just going to tell him straight.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
And I think he's very misunderstood, because he gets this reputation because of the external showmanship that he does at shows. He's actually a very receptive, very respectful person when you have him one-on-one, and I think that's probably like the dirty little secret about Evan Singleton that no one knows, is that
he's a nice guy.
I think it's really endearing part of him.
Right.
When you kind of see that side of him. Yeah. No, I think him having you in his corner is a good move.
I hope so. We'll see.
Oh yeah, stakes are high for you as well, Nico.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pressure. Taking on a high level athlete is always pressure.
Yeah.
Because they're already good.
Yeah.
It's not like you're building them up from scratch.
Coach
It's
takes
like,
a lot of flack
okay,
when things are wrong.
I've just got to not fuck this up.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. When I get a high level athlete come to me, I'm like, all right, I've got to do my best not to mess this up.
Yeah. Andre Foytu in the house. Lots of strongmen in the chat today.
Looking forward to seeing him in America as well.
Yeah, doing his first Strongest Man on Earth. Cousin Fred predicting an all-American podium at Strongest Man on Earth.
Mm.
I think a certain Tom Stoltman will have something to say about that. I can see Tom on the podium this year.
Yeah,
definitely.
I can definitely see that.
I don't think he's going to make any of the mistakes he made last year, like with that stone.
From what I've seen, I think he's a contender.
Yeah. Do you have any early predictions, Nico? Obviously, it's hard when you're a coach.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
leave Evan out of it. Who else do you see doing exceptionally well, podium positions?
I mean, obviously, you'd be a fool not to think that Lucas is going to be a threat, having podiumed at both, the Arnold and at this show last year. Basically, what I look at for this show is just the big, raw bone, sturdy boys. I think Austin's going to do tremendously well. Trey is obviously going to do tremendously well. Although I do think that this show is going to be the story of who mitigates point loss in their weak events, because it seems like everyone coming in without Mitch at this show, everyone has a very specific weakness. Lucas is bad at throwing. Trey has bad grip. Evan's weakness would be stones. Austin's weakness is speed and endurance. And it's just about who's going to be able to make the least amount of mistakes on the day and perform. And, I think it is going to be, I would be shocked if this show did not come down to the last event. I really would be. Yeah. I think it's going to be that close.
I think it could be a matter of coming down to the last event, but coming down to survival as well.
Well, that's also,
I don't mind sitting here talking to you as another coach, but like both of us will be looking at your athletes and you're like, I don't care about you breaking records. I care about you picking up points and surviving for the whole competition. Yeah. And, sometimes looking at that, I mean, I've only got one athlete competing in it this year. But, I've already spoken to him about tactics and things that we're looking at doing. And it's a nice position because it is Josh Spurgeon who has no pressure on him this year. Whereas when it's Mitch, it's like everyone's gunning to beat Mitch.
Absolutely.
Whereas, it's quite nice having a guy that's not the favorite and we can kind of go in there as an underdog. But Josh has looked great in his training. I think he's going to surprise people. But it is a matter of, don't load on one event. You've got 8 events to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, the really interesting part is that when you look at guys that aren't necessarily threats for the podium, you still have guys that could steal points, like Josh on the trap bar deadlift, like Guardione in the frame in the arm over arm, and if those guys sneak in and steal some valuable points, that could really shake things up.
Yeah, absolutely. Mess things up for other people, definitely.
Yeah.
A question for you from El Prescat. What is Coach Nico's opinion on the Strongest Man on Earth events and weight selection? Do you feel that this is asking too much of the body?
I think that this show is going to come down to a lot more strategy than people think, because the way that Brian has set this up, you really, it's your own choice. The log is a max, the trap bar is a max, the throw is a max. I think the event, for my money, that would be, the most dangerous would be a toss up between the yoke and the chest press, just because of the positions that it puts the athletes in as far as risk for injury. I don't think it's too heavy. I think that was kind of like an early talking point, and everyone just kind of jumped on the bandwagon of, oh, this is way too heavy. I mean, there were some Arnold years, in the mid 2010s that, I mean, they were, firsthand, Laws, they were insanely heavy, and, that's the difference between when you talk about we're having a max log, and I think it's great that Brian has chosen to allow the guys to pick their attempts rather than do preset jumps to break up the points so that there's not a million ties, which is, I think that it is boring, and it really doesn't separate out, the better log lifters from the not so better log lifters. When you do a jump like 420 to 440, that's a big jump at that weight. There's a lot of guys that could hit, a 425 or a 430 and really split the pack up a little bit. But then, you look back at the Arnold where they just did the Austrian Oak. It was like, what was it, 200 kilo, Lawrence? And it was either
205.
They did 200 and 205. They've done.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like you either get it or it folds you. So as far as it being too heavy, I don't think it's too heavy. I think it's about who plays it smart. And
I actually really like when you have to pick your own numbers, because it brings tactics into play. And sometimes it kind of, I actually think sometimes the deadlift world champions could do with allowing athletes to pick their own numbers, because then maybe we'd have different records broken as well, rather than just focusing on 505 or whatever the big number is.
And that's, I think, especially with the last jump, usually going from 470-ish straight to 505. Yeah. There's so many guys that would be capable, like Rauno, or if we could get Payman there, and even Makarov. All the years that Makarov failed 505, there's plenty of years where he had 490 in the tank for sure, but he just never had the opportunity to push it that far, So, I think that would be it's a much better option. I agree.
Yeah.
Sway Station asking, who's your money on for the arm wrestling, Oberst or Eddie? I would say probably Eddie.
Do you know what? This is a very interesting match. Now, like, Eddie's looking way better. Okay. And obviously his team kind of Neil Pickup, so I'm supporting in that camp. Neil's been helping me as well. And Neil is an amazing coach, to just point out, very, very tactical. But there's a lot of kind of history of me and Oberst, because, again, I just say what I think. And, Oberst was a good strongman, but he wasn't Brian and that kind of level. He was a decent strongman, but particular weaknesses when it came to like squatting and deadlifting and those type of movements. But when it comes to arm wrestling, he's actually brilliantly built for arm wrestling. He has a tremendously large, strong hand, long levers. He's a big guy, big upper body strength. He is built to arm wrestle.
How seriously is he taking it, though?
I don't know. And that's the question. He has all the tools to be a really good arm wrestler. I have heard he is training hard. If that is the case, I think he could cause Eddie some problems. Okay. If he's not been taking it seriously, then I expect Eddie to win pretty comfortably. So he's a bit of an unknown, but he has all the tools to be good. So, for those that know the history between me and Oberst, he was not a good deadlifter. You've seen him deadlift. His deadlift was nothing. But his upper body strength was exceptionally good.
The last time I publicly commented on Robert Oberst, he DM'd me and told me he was going to kick my ass. So he
just blocked me. But
he called you a Nazi.
I kind of, I'll say it as it is. And, there was weaknesses in strongman, but he is built very well to arm wrestle. He's got height, length, big, thick, powerful hand, upper body strength. If he can move well as well with it, then he's got all the tools to be very good and a problem for Eddie.
Stars keep coming in. Inez Carrasquillo in the chat saying, hi, coach. There we
go.
Oh,
hi, Inez. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Bless her. Queen Inez herself.
Claymore is in as well. How you doing, buddy? That is a man that is built to arm wrestle as well. And this guy, like, a lot of people don't know who James Claymore is. Okay. He's a big Scottish beast, an amazing arm wrestler, but incredible grip strength. I've never seen someone pick up inch dumbbells like him and run with them like they're nothing. And for anyone in the chat that's ever picked up an inch dumbbell extremely hard, he makes it look like a toy. He does like farmer's walks with two of them. Oh, wow. And I think he'd destroy the world record. He has got a tremendous grip.
I think that's my friend Jen in the chat. Yeah, it is. Yoo-hoo. Cousin Fred, gifting more memberships. Thank you, Fred. Who else is here? I'm really behind on the chat. Where are we?
People saying we need the world's strongest nation back.
Andrew with the members comment, thoughts on the moon landing, real or not?
There we go. Nico, what do you think about this one? Very serious debate for a strong man.
I don't know. This is above my pay grade. I'm gonna say real because America made it first. So Team USA.
You're gonna call yourself out as liars. I say real, Lars.
Real.
Yeah. Not really. But thank you for the question, Andrew. Oh dear. Do you know why it's being asked?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
You know I don't know anything.
No, I know. It's the best way. Paddy versus Thor at Husafell is going to be immense.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be epic. So cool. And Paddy's also, I think, going to be doing the Magnus Ver Magnuson Classic because winning England's would have qualified him for
Well,
it.
someone that'll know will be Monica.
Yeah, Monica, tell us. Well,
And
Paddy's in here as well. Yeah,
so
Paddy, tell us
Paddy
too.
can tell us.
Yeah. So
I think Daisy's in there as well. So
oh, there you go. The whole gang's in. So
someone will tell us.
We could see that record broken multiple times this year, potentially.
Thor is bloody good at it. I know Thor Paddy's bloody good at it. Like Paddy is amazing at it, but and gets recognition for being amazing at it.
Yeah.
Thor is amazing at it, and it's like, let's forget that Thor did it.
So, Laz, do you think that Thor, when you talk about Thor versus Paddy, do you think Thor just wasn't pushed to go further? Or, because this is going to be a bloodbath between these two.
I think the winner will be whoever goes second.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Unless one of them, say, no, you could have, this could happen. You could have, say Paddy goes first and does something incredible, 100 meters, and second place is 35, 40 meters.
Right.
Thor might just think, I'll just do 45.
Yeah.
You can have it.
I've got another deadlift world record to go for in a couple of weeks.
That could happen. But I think with them both having to push each other, we could see something special.
Right.
Yeah. Are you going to be at Glasgow this year? Don't know who that's aimed at. We will be.
We will definitely be in Glasgow. I'm sure for you,
I will be there as well.
Good stuff.
Perfect.
All three of us will be in Glasgow.
There you go.
Going to get to hang out a lot this year.
Absolutely. Every Giant show.
Yeah.
There you go. You can be on my behind the scenes videos. How nice.
Oh, wait.
Now we've introduced you to our audience. Would love Paddy to beat Thor. Liz, congrats on the deadlift PB. How are the rest of your lifts progressing? Much better than my deadlift, actually. Deadlift isn't great for me.
But it's improved tremendously.
Oh yeah. Well, it can't possibly get any worse.
Well, if you compare your PB last week to your max effort,
to the mess
whatever that was.
Did you ever see that, Nico?
I haven't yet, but I do know that you have quite the reputation of kicking and screaming all the way on every deadlift workout. So.
I'll send you a video later. It's
okay.
It's a messy affair.
Very.
Yeah. In more ways than one. Oh, here we go. So Liz, he doesn't actually get the title. He wins the comp, but the title will go to the highest placing Icelander, as he isn't actually Icelandic. Now, if he did strongest man in Iceland, he'd get the title. Interesting. There you go then. Yeah, so we kind of had that situation before with Britain's Strongest Man, didn't we? It was the British Open. So, in fact, Robert Oberst did one of those, didn't he?
Robert and
Jerry Pritchett.
Yeah.
Krzysztof Radziakowski as well. But like the highest placing Brit, if an international
Luckily,
athlete,
I was the highest placing Brit that year. I was the highest placing athlete that year, so I won outright. But you don't want to win your national title, but be second in the comp.
Yeah, or fourth or something. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm Britain's Strongest Man. Oh, you won? No, I came fourth. What? Kind of messes that. I only learned until quite recently, that the reason that they had to do that is because Channel 5 wouldn't buy the show if it didn't have international athletes in it. So there you go.
Back then.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, every day's a school day. Very excited to see what Paddy can do on the Husafell. Kerry and Brian versus Loz and Liz in a couples battle.
What kind of battle?
Chicken in the pool. I think I could beat her.
But me and Brian on your shoulders.
Absolutely not. Actually,
I think we could win that.
Yeah, I think we could win that. Yeah. I'll just flop you into there. Yeah. Or some was. That's literally all I've got. Where are we? Paddy and Thor on the stones for the win could be fun. I don't know what the events are.
No.
Lots of stones and wood, I imagine.
Next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Where are we? Inez versus Liz. Absolutely not. Not in anything. Have you met Inez? Memes are my true passion. Strongman is second. Inez Carrasquillo. Number one strong woman. Oh, she is funny.
Yeah.
People just chatting amongst themselves.
Loz, don't tell all my secrets. Sorry, Josh. Sorry. We'll keep it.
Oh, Josh Spurgeon in the chat. What was? Oh, about blowing his load.
Well, that's very much taken out of context.
I'm
there.
gonna need some context for that one.
I just said we've already spoken tactics.
Oh, okay. I'm outraged.
The blowing your load was for all reference to all athletes. You don't want to blow your load on the first.
We don't need any of them doing that. 16 athletes, Jesus.
I don't want to be going. Be like a Bonnie Blue line up.
No, stop it.
Oh, good God. What kind of show is this, Lars?
It's devolved fast. How old is Lars? It was. There we go. Sorry.
There we go.
Can you hear us okay, Nico?
I got you now, yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. Oh, that's a shame he won't have you guys. I don't know who they're talking to. I think Daisy's not going to Iceland next weekend with Paddy. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm getting snippets of
Gian,
information.
Josh, and Inez are all having some kind of
conversation. Can you please direct questions? It'd be most helpful. I'm just reading bits of a conversation.
There's a couple of super chats further.
They all play Animal Crossing together. Did you know this?
Animal Crossing.
Yes, like a kid's game.
It is like the kiddiest of kids game where it's just my daughter played it like 5 years.
It's like a duck that kind of crosses the road.
No, it's like you have your own little avatar and you just like pull weeds and mow the lawn and build houses and stuff. It's completely pointless. I don't even know what. I'm sure Inez could explain better to you exactly what it is, but it's mind-numbingly boring. But that's my opinion anyway.
Sounds it. Must be a younger person thing.
Chris Grant with a super chat. Thank you, Chris. Who's Nico's top 3 for strongest man on earth and winner? Eddie for arm wrestling.
Well, I mean, obviously, I have to go with Evan for the win because, you know, I'm really confident in his ability to be consistent enough throughout all the events to pick up enough points. I genuinely believe that it's going to be a battle between him and Lucas. And I see, I mean, it's such a difficult podium to predict because I see Trey, Austin, and Tom also right thereabouts where, I mean, realistically, that's obviously what I hope happens, but it wouldn't surprise me to see any configuration of those 5 guys at any point on the podium. It's just, it's going to be a crazy show. So
it's such an interesting one this year. I think quite wide open in terms of a number of athletes. I think that's going to make it really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't think that we've had a show this difficult to predict in basically since before Mitch, you know, I mean, and I hate to say it because it's just, you know, and that just goes to show what a tremendous athlete Mitch was. And I think there's that.
He still will be. He's not finished. He's just resting for a while.
But I do think that just it being able to watch Mitch, it's almost like being able to watch like a Michael Jordan or a Tom Brady build their legacy, you know, and it certainly people were complaining about it becoming redundant and boring. I disagree because you had these guys like Lucas and Austin that were coming up, and even if Mitch hadn't taken a step back, sooner or later one of those guys was going to get the better of him, you know, and that was just like, and the real question was who's going to take him down, and I think that was the real entertainment part of it. So, however, with Mitch taking some time off, it really has blown the door wide open to, you know, all these guys. It's just like it's a who's going to win it now, and I think that is incredibly entertaining, and I think it's going to really bring a lot of eyes to the show because it's just I genuinely don't think that there's been a show that's going to be this close in the top 5 points wise in a real long time.
I think it's a very interesting time in Strongman because I think the fact that, like, say, you know, it starts really from Zadrunas and Brian, and even before that, push the sport to new levels.
Mhm.
And then guys like Thor and Eddie, the strength achievements that they have, they break new barriers, and then everyone else starts breaking those barriers. We've seen it with the deadlift, we see it with the log, other events. And we're at a stage where an athlete pushes on, and then everyone else is like, I'm going to force myself to catch up. And we've got so many good athletes now, but we've got a great lineup going to be battling out for strongest man on earth. There is the return of Mitch to focus on, and that's something that will be fun. I think for Mitch to go down as one of the greats, it's important. You look at any great athlete, they have a down period. They've got to kind of overcome adversity. Yeah, they have. And like, if Mitch wants to be a great, he's got to prove that he can come back from this. I believe he can, and he just needs a bit of time off.
Mhm.
But then we've got Martins coming back as well. Martins is an incredible athlete with an amazing story that, is he capable of getting back to that top level? It'd be cool to see it. And then Thor coming back into the sport and, doing some incredible things right now. And then we've got all these amazing athletes.
Tom is a 3-time world champion.
It makes them down at like next year and thinking, damn, it's going to be. Evan is a good example. A lot of people wrote him off because he had a bad year last year.
Right.
Boom, comes back and he's winning Giants Live. Everyone's talking about you again. People only seem to remember like people's last result. So I'm someone that's been in the sport a long time, like yourself, and I know what these guys are all capable of. And I know from experience, and you'll know from experience, just one bad result doesn't mean you're finished.
Right.
You learn from it and you come back. I mean, I've seen Tom Stockman come last in a competition. And sometimes that makes you better than anything because you work hard and you're hurting from it and you hate yourself for it. And you think, I'm not going to go through that again. A year later, you can be a different athlete. And we've got new guys coming through like Nick Guardione and Josh Spurgeon and others, Andre Ford. There's lots of talent right now in the sport. And I think these competitions, we see different winners all the time. Same on the women's side. It's fun and exciting. It's why we love talking about it leading up to shows.
Yeah, I mean, and I also think that, you talk about all the guys that are coming back, Martins, Thor, Mitch will be coming back. I mean, I was just at North America's Strongest Man last weekend, and the crop of guys coming up are just as good as the crop of guys that are returning, I mean, there's a lot of guys that, you look at Bryce Johnson, Nick Wortham, who had a tremendous weekend. He's great. It's just these Westerwinski, who is only getting better and better. It's a very interesting time in the sport for sure.
Absolutely. And that's the fun thing.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing a bigger and bigger and bigger crop of incredible athletes now. We have more great athletes than we've ever had before.
Oh, 100%. Monica pointing out that Vilius Yukubski, is it? I can't remember his name, but he has an excellent voice, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's going to be there at Iceland's competing, and he is the current world record holder on the Husafell. So it's not a 2-horse race. Very well pointed out.
Well pointed out, Monica.
Yes.
Monica has great knowledge on the sport as well.
Cousin Fred, thank you for the super chat. Okay, family, if you can make it to Loveland in less than 2 weeks, I have a ticket for the Shore Classic and it's free. Just find me there. There you go.
Awesome. Anyone looking for a ticket, make sure you get in contact with Cousin Fred.
Yes. That's what squat style for someone with a long torso and short femurs. Narrow, high bar. Answered it for you.
If you're a strong man, yes.
Vertical torso.
Yeah. Keep that torso as high as possible. But
that's how I'm built. Really long torso.
It is. Yeah. You'll find squatting narrow probably just suits you better. But I don't know what Nico thinks. I think leg strength is super important for strongman, but I don't think a 1-rep max squat is important for strongman. So I don't tend to coach a lot of low bar, wide stance squats unless you're built with longer limbs. I find like leg strength super important, but more endurance with leg strength is, you think of all the events you're moving, truck pulls, everything is kind of about doing it multiple times, not necessarily just 1-rep max.
I mean, coming from a powerlifting background, I still love a good 1-rep max squat, but
that's irrelevant to the question. Like, I love a 1-rep squat. But what's more important for strongman, like for a strength athlete?
Absolutely.
How many times have you had to do a 1-rep max squat in strongman?
I wish I had the opportunity to do any kind of squatting in strongman.
I've done a few squats, but I've never done a 1-rep max squat in strongman competition.
Especially, it seems like at the local and regional and national level, squats are almost never done. So at least in America. So
same in the UK. It's very
Right.
rare that you see a squat, especially in a lower level competition.
Ryan with a super chat. Thank you, Ryan. Is Schmo pushing strongman back to the era where guys need to be 400-pound plus to win, like Shaw and Eddie Hall?
No, because Mitch won last year. But it's a different type of competition. It's and I like it because it shows strength in different ways. And I think strongman is about being the best all round. If you really want to go down as one of the best, the ability to win every type of competition is what makes you stand out. Whereas we do have athletes right now that are really good at, say, a Giants live show, or they're really good at an Arnold's or a Strongest Man on Earth
different
show.
flavors of competition now, isn't it? It's great.
I think it's good. It gives people more options. It gives like different strengths and different weaknesses on athletes. But the best guys are still the guys that can win everything.
Very defensive Josh Spurgeon in the chat.
Oh
God. Bless him, poor bloke. He's got his most important competition in his life coming up in 2 weeks.
He's going to smash it.
Yeah, he'll be great.
He's looking really good. I'm very pleased with the training he's been putting in.
Yeah. Hi, Liz. We'll be doing a behind the scenes video at Schmo. Yes, I 100% will be. Really looking forward to it. Loz and Liz, feel free to ban us. Your idea. What other athletes does Nico coach? Is there any names that people would know?
Probably not names people would know as far as the prevalence of Nez and Evan, but I coach a guy, Dan McGuire, who just competed at North America's, came in 8th. We had 2 weeks notice. The Rainier is a qualifier for that show, and unfortunately Dylan, the guy that won Rainier, tore his bicep. So we got a late call up and we went in, and that show is the kit at that show is very unique. And having not gotten any touches on it, it was definitely a challenge because there's definitely a lot of little tricks and ways to manipulate the implements. And I think that we'll do a lot better the second time around. But I'm still super proud of him. He did great. He's super hard on himself and he wishes he was able to do better, but we do have America's Strongest Man coming up, and we're planning on doing really well there. I have a few 105s and a few U90s, but I'm working on building my lexicon of athletes and making them names. And I was lucky enough to be able to grab a couple big names to add to my roster, but I really do enjoy, as I'm sure you do as well, Loz, taking people that are right on that cusp of truly being great and helping them get there. That's the real joy in what I do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Josh is in the chat, but coaching Josh has been a real privilege for me because I could see the talent straight away. So to take someone that you just see as this raw talent and almost like, we had a conversation the other day. He didn't believe the level that I believed he could get to. Mm-hmm. But, to take someone with that raw talent and see them progress is very, very rewarding. Right. Sometimes having the great athlete come to you, it's a bit more stressful, and it's nice to say you coach. And I mean this respectfully, but because I'm in the same boat, to say I coach like Rebecca or Mitch, or you coach Inez or Evan, they're already great athletes.
Right.
But to bring someone from the grassroots up through the system and see that development, that's very rewarding. And like yourself, I enjoy that side of it more so than attracting the top level athletes because they are already great. Mitch would have been great no matter what. Rebecca won big titles before she came to me. These two guys have won big titles before they come to you. That's not a dig on you. It's just fact.
A fact, yeah, exactly.
When we bring up people that are from that grassroots level, it's very rewarding, especially I like coaching people for a long period of time because Absolutely. You see that progress and you learn about the athlete and you get more out of them that way. So for me, very much. Even coaching Liz has been rewarding.
Oh my!
to take someone from primordial ooze to
regular
primordial ooze.
Yeah, gym bro now. It's it's cool.
What I was going to say, and I don't want to embarrass him further, but after he won the Shore Classic last year, Josh, he was like, Lars has been such a great coach to me. I don't know what he saw in me, like from the get-go. And I was like, well, that's why Loz is a great coach, because he saw what is clearly in you, because you've just won the short classic.
A lot of people see stuff. Yeah. He's a great athlete.
Which kind of brings us to our next question from Gian. Who's going to win the short classic and get the strongest man on earth invite next year? I'm just going to grab some water because I'm dying in here. It's so hot.
Do you know many of the guys doing the short classic?
You know, I have one athlete doing the Shaw Classic, Bo Bathory. He was at OSG last year. As far as I think the guys to look at, you know, Seth Sokup, he's been tremendous this last year. Obviously, you know, you coach Andrew Burton. He's a guy to watch. The guy that I am super excited to see really turn loose is Tyler Obringer. I think he is a tremendous athlete. He's very statically strong. He's explosive speed. And I think that with those set of events, if he puts it all together, I think he could win.
He's been on that cusp for a number of years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, comes and goes. But yeah, he's a great athlete. I've got to say, I think Andrew's looking amazing. Obviously, I'm going to say that. But yeah, I think it's a great show. The standard, we said this before. It's a very tough show for only one spot.
It is. Yeah.
You know, it was the same last year with like the guys that were top three. Only one person gets that invite to the high level. So it was a very tough show to go. So like, you know, I had a few English athletes that are like, oh, should I compete at that? I'm like, probably not, because it's a big investment to go to if you're not going to win. And it's a very, very high standard. So I
also do think it's on a personal level, watching, you know, Josh and Nick Guardione, for them to both have the opportunity to do the SMO this year, when last year those two really traded places all year long, you know, and to see them both get the opportunity to go to the next level and duke it out there is just that's the evolution of the sport, and that's what I think is really cool.
Well, that happened the year before. Wesley Dewinski came second at the Shore Classic one year, and he ended up going to SMO the following year anyway, off of the back of his World Strongest Man.
But those guys that are like top 5 at SMO, top 5 at OSG, they are already great athletes.
Shore Classic,
Shore Classic, OSG, Arnold's Amateurs. The guys that are doing well in these shows,
they're really good.
You look at them when they get those wins, and then they go on to the pro shows. They're holding their own and doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Right.
So the pool of talent out there is tremendous.
Daniel, thank you very much for the super chat. Hello, Loz and Liz. One thing I've noticed is that none of the major international contests this year don't have a vehicle pool of any kind. I could be looking in the wrong places, however. No, you're right, Daniel.
Absolutely right.
I think Worlds is the most reliable one for having one.
And they haven't for the last couple of years.
No, they haven't. And I think that's a lot to do with how they're running the competition now, with the staging and everything. It's not necessarily the best platform for
so many more of the shows are indoors at this point. And a truck pull indoors isn't that good because it's almost too easy indoors because the surface is so flat. Whereas outside on a slight incline or with rough kind of surface, it's much, much more challenging event. But I used to compete and there was truck pulls in everything, whereas now you don't see it much at all.
What's this? What's Hip Flipping Mama saying? Andre is blow the roof off the joint
after Evan.
After Evan. Sorry, I'm seeing things.
Sure.
It's been a long weekend. Oh, dear. How good are Thor's chances of winning is... Oh, how good would they be if he prepped and did SMO this year? How long's a piece of string? Like, Thor won the most events last year out of everyone, didn't he? But
I think Thor would run into the same problem this year, though, especially with the chest press. He would just give up too much points in the two press events to really be a threat for the win. Podium, of course, you can never count Thor out for any contest in the podium, but any kind of a two press show, it really is a big ask to have him make up. Because, I mean, you saw it last year was the perfect example. How he couldn't have done any better in the other events.
He won 5 events, didn't he?
Exactly. And he gave up too many points in the overheads, and that was just too much of a hill to climb, especially when all the other athletes are so proficient in just staying so close to him in the events that he wins.
Yeah,
definitely.
Rongo Keen in the chat. Everyone say hello to Rongo.
Hey, Rongo, hope you're well, buddy. Wasn't Rongo supposed to be doing the
Shore Classic?
No, the Santa Monica comp.
Oh,
yes, he was.
Yeah. He didn't though.
No,
No.
he didn't.
Rongo,
Rongo, what's
me.
happening? What are we competing in next,
I'm
buddy?
supposed to be his coach.
I want to see Rongo
I'm
soon.
doing a horrible job.
You're supposed to have the answers, Liz.
I know. I know nothing. Daniel, thank you again for another super chat. The vehicle pools are my favorite event to watch at any contest. Also, I think Lalas talked about something similar with how one bad contest and the people think you're out for good.
It's just normal in sport.
It's recency bias, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's across sports. People have a very short-term memory, so it is quite hilarious at times where people will kind of sometimes, totally discount an athlete. And look, I guess we can all be guilty of it to a certain degree. If someone's not performing well for a few shows, you're only going to talk about the athletes that are in shape at that time. But it doesn't mean that you should count someone out.
No, of course not.
If you're a great athlete, you've had a little bit of a bad run, it certainly doesn't mean you're done forever. No. And I've got experience of that myself, and I've seen it many times with so many great athletes.
So I'm very aware that I've got some dodgy legs on this chair, and you're leaning on it. And I was getting nervous.
Why are you using the dodgy chair?
I don't know. I like to run my life risky. Sunshine, I'm going to the show. Hope to run it into Loz and Les. We are there literally for a whole week.
We hope to see the sunshine too. So
yes, but you'd be very unlucky not to. We're going to be all over the place. We're even doing a Q&A, aren't we, Lozzie?
Yeah.
In the seminar. How nice. It's the Strongman Sunday live in person. Here we go. Rongo. I've been quiet for a few months due to my injury and my visa being denied into the USA, but I've started training again and I'm going to finish the year strong with a few comps.
Good to see you back competing, buddy.
Hopefully see you in Iceland, maybe, Rongo. That would be nice. Monica, make it happen. Poor Monica. Chris, for the members comment, in my opinion, Strongman needs spectacle events for casual fans.
I think the spectacle events definitely are needed because as a hardcore gym goer, you can understand weights on a plate or how much something weighs, but when something looks impressive, it just draws people in. I remember some of the early events that I watched when I didn't know anything about training, but you just look at people lifting these huge, big, awkward objects or pulling planes or flipping cars. It just looks cool.
Yeah.
And even when the event is not as difficult as it appears to be, like when you look at a deadlift with kilo plates, it's like 1,000 pounds is like, but you could have a side handled car deadlift that's 600 pounds in the hands and it's a car, so. Which I think that's the big draw to Strongman is the larger than life spectacle to it. So I totally agree.
This is why I only deadlift using bumpers. If I used real plates, it would look so shit. Oh dear. Primordial Ooze. Okay, Loz is sleeping on the couch. I agree with him, to be fair. I'm excited to see Ben Glasscock at the show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, also in the open,
Yeah, I forgot Ben's doing it. He stands a good chance.
Ben's been doing very, very well.
Yeah.
He's been training hard for it, doing well in recent comps. Be good to see him over there.
And Blue Shadow said, talking of getting novices, Nico is Loz better watch out that Nico doesn't try and poach Auntie Liz. He would soon send me back.
I'm a low down dastardly snake in the grass, but that's not I wouldn't even do anything like that. So you're safe.
How's your competition prep going?
It's going well, I think. It's 5 weeks away, isn't it?
The confidence blows me away.
You're stronger than you've ever been.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah. What more could I possibly do? Yeah, like it'll be fine. There's nothing I can't do. Some of it I could do really quite well.
You are way stronger than you were last year. You're well prepared. You're looking great.
Yeah.
And you've worked really hard.
Yeah. I still hate that sandbag to shoulder though. Nearly took me out.
It's improved a lot though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
On my shoulder. Do you like sandbag to shoulder?
One of my favorite events. Yeah.
I think what's upset me is that I saw it and I thought, well, I've never done it. I've got no reason to think this, but I think I'll be really good at this. And then I tried it the first day and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Overconfident maybe. Oh, we've caught up. How
Excellent.
nice.
Good
And
stuff.
we're 1 hour and 4 minutes in, so I think that's a good time to wrap, isn't it?
No problem at all.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll run out of things to talk to Nico about when we see him in Strongest Man on Earth. It'll be awkward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us, Nico. For anyone that's
It's been a
interested, do they find you if they want to get coaching? Is there like, do you have your own YouTube channel?
I don't have my own YouTube channel. I should probably get my act together and get on that. But on Instagram, it is at Greek Goliath. That is pretty much the only thing social media that I do in the strongman world. So yeah, DM me there if anyone's looking for coaching. And yeah, I'm super excited to see you guys out in Colorado, and I think it's going to be a great time. And I very much appreciate you guys having me on.
No worries at all, buddy. Maybe we
fun.
can fit in a training session while we're over there as well. That'd be
I would
fun.
absolutely love that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll be back next weekend.
Yes, we will. We'll
The
be
last
back next
one
weekend.
before we head off to Colorado.
Yes.
Take care, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Nico, you have to smile and wave. It's customary for all guests.